Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, My Study. So in this video, another feature that is security point of view provided inside this IAM, Identity and Access Management, that is setting your permission boundary for each individual IAM user. So what happens that, let's say we have something like a root account. Within a root account, we have a number of users. Let's take, in our case, we have created one user like a John, and we have, let's say, one user like a Bob. Okay. Now suppose to the John, either root account or root account has given some administrative access to some other IAM user who has assigned John some permission. Okay, let's say some permission P1, let's say P2, let's say something like a P3. We'll define all those P1, P2, P3. I mean, it's not a normal convention. It's just given like a tree permission being assigned by anyone who is having a administrative access to the John. But let's say out of this P1, P2, P3, even the root level, you can define some permission. Let's say it will be allowed just P1 and P2. So even if someone assigns some permission like a P3, that will not be effectively assigned to the John. So in short, if let's say someone assigned a permission something like P1, let's say 1, 2, and let's say 3. Okay, but only permission which is being applicable by this set permission boundary, that will be effective permission. So let's see how we can configure for it. So first ever thing, let me go to my IAM and let's just check what are the current users are available. So we have one user like John. Okay. So whatever policy currently attached, let's just remove it. We are not interested in it. Okay, so policy being removed. Now apart from just assigning those permission policy, we have a permission boundary also. So this particular option we haven't explored so far. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's say I'm just going to create one, let's say inline policy, or let me add some permission. Okay, let me attach some permission. Okay, so for that, let's say I am just going to give many more permission. Let's say S3 full access I just want to provide. Let's say EC2 full access I just want to provide to the John, and let's say even IAM also I just want to provide as a full access. Let me press next, add permission, and now you'll be able to see John as a user. If I just try to log in, it is just going to have a full access on EC2, S3 and IAM full access. How we can verify? I can just go to new incognito window, but before that, let me copy the sign in URL for John. Okay, let me provide the username like a John. Oops, I just kept some other password, I guess. Yeah, that is correct. Now, if I just try to access something like any services, let's say I am just going to open IAM, EC2 and S3, all three, we won't be having any error. See, no error. That means it is just able to access all the services. There is no access denied anywhere. Even in case of buckets also, no access denied. But suppose at a user level, let's say if you want to set some permission, let's say this permission boundary, you want to set it to some specific one. Let's say we have given here S3 full access, so I'll just provide him S3 full access. S3 full access. You can even go for some very specific permission also. Like you can create your own also. So what happens that there is a permission boundary like Amazon S3 access. Now here both are the same, but it can be different also. It's all depends upon what particular permission within a policy you put it as a statement. So now if I just try to access after applying this permission boundary, Amazon S3 is the common between both of them. So that will be effectively applicable permission. But even if you assign this IAM full access and EC2 full access, this John as a IAM user won't be able to access anything in EC2 and IAM. Let's just check. So now I am inside the John. You can see IAM, let me refresh. EC2 also, let me refresh. And you can have a look at access denied. Here also everything API error. If I just try to refresh this bucket, I won't get any issue. Now, it doesn't mean that you just need to apply the existing one. You can even provide some policies. Let's say I'll just create some inline policy. There I'm just going to define some very specific, let's say 3 services or 2 services for our understanding purpose. Let's say I'll just go ahead with the EC2, and within EC2, let's say listing down all EC2, describe all instances. So instances, okay, there are a lot of, so this is where we are interested. Okay, so this is done. Next, okay, let me add it, and let me add one more permission. Let's say that will be like S3. Within S3, definitely we'll just go ahead with the listing of all buckets. List all my buckets. Next, and this is my new policy name. So boundary policy, because this policy we are going to use for boundary verification. Boundary policy. Okay, so there are 2 listing, EC2 listing, S3 also listing. Okay, now remaining 3 I am just simply going to remove it. Okay, remove. Okay, so now you will be able to see we have 2 access, EC2 and describe instance, and permission being set to S3 only. So S3 contains, there are a lot of permission. Okay, all S3 related permission, but what is the overlapping intersecting permission will be listing all my buckets. There won't be anything will be accessible from the EC perspective. No, even IAM policy even not being attached. So if I just try to refresh, see everything will get API error, but here you won't get anything, because in a permission set boundary, this is still applicable. Now in case of permission setting, let's say if you want to change it, let me change the boundary, and here also you can provide some customer managed one, or you can just go ahead with the existing one. Let's say I'll just go ahead with the EC2 read only access instead of full access, EC2 read only access, and let me set the boundary. So everything will be a part of EC2 read only. So see, now if I just EC2 describe instances, so does this particular part is available? See, EC2 colon anything will be described, it is applicable. Now I can go to John's account. Definitely IAM won't be applicable here, because that is not being even assigned. See, instance running, that is available, there is no issue. But in case of bucket listing, if I just try to refresh, I get permission denied error. You don't have a permission to list buckets. So that is how one can add extra layer of security in case someone by mistake assigned lot of permission to some particular IAM user. At a permission boundary level, your administrator can assign that this particular person, however permission someone assigned, it cannot go beyond to certain extent, and those permission for individual user one can set at a permission boundary level. Okay, so that's all about this video, and I hope you enjoy listening this video, and see you in the next one. Till that time, please do like and comment on my video, and please subscribe on my channel.